Hey everybody, it's Wednesday. We're going to do some drawing, and I want to talk about this week. Obviously, very, very tough for many of us, especially those in the Black community. And I live here in the States, and it's just a very difficult and strange time, and very challenging for many of us. And I want to talk about what we're doing here, which is drawing, which is art, and just talk a little bit about how art can really actually be a pretty powerful thing that can have quite an impact on the world. Art has been used to change the world throughout history. Music, paintings, books, dance, theater, and films have a great power to reach many people and make them consider different points of view. And optimism is the mentality that makes, I think, progress possible. So if you're not optimistic, especially in the face of adversity, you can't make positive changes and grow as a society. But if you can create great art that grabs people's attention, makes them think about important issues, and you can remain optimistic that things can get better if we keep working at it, then we can move forward. And for all you kids out there who are watching, I believe in you. I know you're going to grow up and do wonderful things and make this world a better place. And I love you. And if you're scared or angry or frustrated right now, that's normal. If you can take those feelings and make something positive, just imagine what kind of change you could bring about. You could use your thoughts and your emotions to make something and share it with the world. You could make a drawing, you could write a song, write a poem. Sometimes great art comes from a difficult or a challenging time. And sometimes you don't have the strength or the energy to make anything at all, and you just need a hug. And that's fine too. So I want to make some kind of a difference, and I'm just one person, but I'm doing what I can. I know how to make Photoshop brushes, which is a really weird thing to be good at, but I am very good at it. And sometimes I do fundraisers with my brushes, and I'm doing one now. And so what I wanted to do was just share this here with everybody. I made a brush called the BLM brush, standing for Black Lives Matter. And this brush is a Photoshop brush that you can use to do inking and drawing and other things. And if you have any application on your iPad or on your computer, if you do have those things and you have a way of drawing digitally, you can use this brush. And you can get it for free, but you could also, if you donate $1 or any amount of money, I'm going to give that money to the charities that you see listed on the screen. And what I'd love is for whoever's managing the chat right now, if you wouldn't mind, please just sharing this URL. So for those of you who do want to contribute, and I'd be grateful. This is money that is used to lift up the Black community and to fight against violence and racism. And it's for a good cause. I just launched this yesterday. We've already raised over $1,500 for these organizations that you see listed on the screen. I'm really excited about that, and I want to keep it going. So thank you, Sam, for sharing that. I see now that you've done that. All right, well, listen, I think it's time for us to get to do some drawing together. So here we go. My apologies for not having a dad joke ready for you today. But if you know any good ones, go ahead and share them in the chat. And I will also say that today, if you don't feel like drawing, you just feel like talking to your friends who are in the chat, you just want to have a conversation about how you're feeling, how you're doing right now, then go ahead and do that. That's totally fine as well. But I'm going to get the drawing started. And those of you who've been with me before know that the way these drawings work is we use a very simple formula of lines. We use straight lines, and we use curvy lines, and we also sometimes use zag, zigzag, diagonal kind of lines like that, okay? And today we're going to draw something together that is very fitting for the occasion, and we're going to start just by doing a sort of modified C-curve. What I mean by that is, when I usually draw a C-curve, it's kind of top and bottom are even, feels kind of symmetrical, But this C-curve is going to look more like a J. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw it like this. Watch. And it come down and curve. So it's like a J, but it's not like this kind of a J, right? It's down and curve. All right, and that is where we're going to start off today. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see everything I do. And remember, all you need is a pencil, a pen, a stick dipped in mustard or ketchup, anything to draw with. It does not matter. A piece of paper, newspaper, your mom's favorite dress, whatever you can draw on is great. Maybe not the dress. All right, the next step for this here is I'm going to look at the length of that line. I'm going to say, okay, if I were to take that line and I were to stretch it out straight, it would be about that long, right? So I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, it's about that long, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to draw a line about that length out and up this way. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to do what we often do, which is give ourselves a little target to aim for. And so I'm going to say, okay, I want to come out to about here, and I'm just going to make a little mark like that. Okay, and when I make that mark, I now have something to shoot for, so I can say, all right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to aim up and out like that. So pretty straight line. If your line is a little wobbly or not perfectly straight, you don't have to worry about that. That is never an important thing. Don't worry about it, okay? Alrighty. Now, for the next step in this drawing, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the height, okay, from here down to where we started this line, okay? And I want you to imagine that we're going to travel down to about here. See how it's the same spot there on the x-axis, if you're going to get technical about it, right? But I'm going at a diagonal. I'm kind of going like this. And I'm just making myself a little dot there to remember where I want to go. And the way I'm going to get there is I'm going to do a series of C-curves, one after another. And here's what they're going to look like. C-curve, C-curve. Now, if you do 5 C-curves, 4 C-curves, 6 C-curves, I don't care. Doesn't matter, right? But I'm roughly aiming for that spot. And then I'm going to come down and do a few more C-curves, and I want to aim for about here. Okay, make myself another little dot there. Now you'll notice that I'm actually moving in this way. So I'm going to curve and curve and curve and stop right there. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C-curves. Sorry about that. Terrible impersonation of the Count from Sesame Street, but I do love him. It doesn't matter if you have 8 or 7 or 9 or 6. It doesn't matter. The point is we make a bunch of C-curves, and these smaller C-curves are making up a larger C-curve as we travel on down. Okay? All right, next step. I'm going to look at the distance from here to here, all right? And I'm going to think, okay, I want to kind of travel the same way out this direction, all right? Same distance about out this direction. So I'm going to look, and I'm going to put a little mark about there. Okay? And watch what I do next. I'm going to do another one of those very shallow C-curves, and it's going to start right about here, and it's going to go out and up like that. All right. Pause for a moment and say hello to everybody in the chat. So who do we have here? Sam, Dana, Alberto, Eudalia. Did I say that right? I hope so. Eudalia. Anthony, very nice. Hi, Voodoo Val. Glad you're here. Dana, Shital. And, of course, I see Paco. That's awesome. Catherine, nice to see you. Hi, John. Jack, thanks, everybody, for hanging out and doing a little drawing today. And let's keep on going. All right, here we go. Now, I'm going to pass right through, okay? I'm going to come from here, and I'm going to pretend that this line is traveling behind here, and it's going to come up like this, okay, about that far. I'm going to stop right there. And now I'm going to do another C curve, and watch it. It goes up and down, just like that. So up and down. Not too severe. Oh my gosh. Quick, somebody get me a lozenge. All right, now, here comes one of our favorites, which is a zigzag. This is a small zigzag, right? That's what the zigzags look like. But we're going to do a really small one. Watch. Teeny tiny. Out and back, like that. Out and back. See that? And it's a tiny one. Out and back. Okay. Now, I'm going to give myself a spot to aim for. So I'm going to drop straight down, all right? And I'm going to imagine that if I were to take this line here and just keep it going, right? I'm going to hit it about here. And what I'm going to do is do a little upside down J, kind of a C curve, where I take this line that I just drew here and I come down and I curve like so. All right, we're going to do another one of those, but we're going to actually reverse the direction. And this time I'm going to look here where this line stops, drop straight on down past where that line stops, right? And I'm going to basically double that distance. So 1 and a 2 are right about there. See? 1 and 2. I'm going to stop right there. And here comes another C curve, like so. Boom. Fantastic. And by now you probably figured out what we are drawing. It is a bird, but not just any bird. It is a dove, okay, which is a well-recognized symbol of peace all over the world. Lovely set of shapes, too, that make up this drawing, and so it's a good one. All right, now, carrying on. I'm going to take this line, and I'm going to move almost straight back, okay? But I'm going to have a little bit of an angle, and I'm going to shoot for about here. That's my spot. So watch this. I'm going to just carry that line up and stop right about there. Okay. And then I'm going to break and I'm going to come back down the other direction, all right? Like so. And that's where I'm going to stop for a moment. And then I'm going to come back over to here, and what we're doing is we're doing the tail, all right? Now I'm going to carry this out a little longer, like that. See that line? It's just carrying out. And here comes some more of those C curves. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here comes some decorative lines. We're just going to go like this, these little lines. See that? 1, 2, 3. Those are easy peasy, right? All right, now, what about that other wing for the dove? Well, watch this. Here comes a C curve. I'm going to start right about here. Okay, watch. Up. And then I'm going to come back down this way at a slightly different angle from this one. Watch, it's going to come back more down towards the head, like so. And then curve in like that. Okay, so now we've just given the impression that one wing is closer to us, the other wing is behind it. That's that simple trick we use, overlapping. When you overlap objects in drawing, you create the illusion that one thing is behind another, right? And that creates the illusion of space and depth in a drawing. Pretty cool trick. Alrighty, now what about that eye? Well, look, it's as simple as this, gang. Just a little circle like so, and you're in good shape. Now, let's add that olive branch, because that's a fun thing to do. So, watch this. I'm going to do a little curve down like that. And then I'm going to carry it up and over like that. So this one is shorter, right? That's a shorter line than that. And here we go with a nice C curve, very shallow, right? And right next to it, C curve and C curve. And that is the top. And then we just come on down with some space. 1, 2, and then another one, and another one. And you can leave it just like that, and you are in good shape. How about some details on the wing? That's always a good thing to do. Now, these are very simple. Watch what I do. Remember, similar to the tail here, I'm going to make a line, leave a little space, right? And what I'm doing is I'm following, see how these lines are right in line with where each C-curve bumps up against the next? Kind of changing the direction slightly as I move that way. And now watch this. I'm going to interrupt with another C-curve, but it's going to be kind of like those J's. Like this, like that, like this, like that. There we go. Couldn't be simpler. And that's a nice little way to add some detail. And then, as we've done with our owl before that we drew, we just go V, V and W, those kinds of shapes, like that. And that gives you some more detail in your drawing. And you're pretty much set now. Of course, you can color this in. You can draw it again if you want to change it slightly or didn't like what you did the first time. And you could draw several of these. Sky's the limit. You get creative as you want. Draw it in the sky, draw some clouds, draw a tree. Up to you. All right. But now we're going to move on to the animal and activity game. So this is where you in the chat will suggest an animal doing something strange, interesting, bizarre, a little different, a little unexpected. So we've done all kinds of things like dog playing the piano. We've had a rabbit doing a handstand. We had Tyrannosaurus Rex doing shadow puppets. The suggestions are always amazing and wonderful. Whatever you come up with in the chat, I'll read them out loud, and then I'll pick one and try and draw it as fast as I possibly can before we run out of time for the show. So, first things first, let's slide my dove over here to the right, like that. And now we have some space to do our drawing. And I'm going to use a light color like I always do because I like to sketch with that light color. And I'll look in the chat for your suggestions. Let's see what we have here. All right. How I get better at drawing just by watching this guy. Wow, thank you, Mensa. That's really, really nice thing to say. I appreciate that. Yes. Be back later. Okay, Alberto. Take care. All right, folks, let's see your suggestions for today. Now, I sometimes get suggestions from my own kids. And if I don't see one, I'm going to have to draw one of those. But I do see panda on a bike, and I do see gorilla reading a newspaper, and I do see crocodile sunbathing. Oh my gosh. Ostrich playing tennis wearing sunglasses. That's kind of a tough one to beat. I love it. Great ideas, folks. The dove is flying backwards, somebody said. Oh, is it? Okay. I'm not sure what that means. All right, listen. Right off the bat, I think ostrich playing tennis is pretty fun. Octopus drawing or brushing hair. I like that too. Koala on the telephone or at the gym. That's really fun. I still haven't learned how to draw a koala. That's really on my list of things to do. I need to do it because I get a lot of koala requests these days. Let's see. Polar bear trying to become a ninja. All right, well, we did a bicycle last week. So I think the ostrich playing tennis is going to win out today. Oh, hedgehog taking a shower. Yes, I promise I'll learn how to draw a hedgehog soon. But I do need to get to work. So here we go. Sketch comes first. So the ostrich, wow, what a funny animal to be playing tennis. All right, I want to take up about this much real estate on the page, okay? And I think the ostrich is going to be doing a backhand. So hand over, let's start over this way actually. This way, racket coming out. There's the head of the racket. Okay. And then I'm going to have that wing coming out from the tennis shirt. A funny long ostrich neck looking up and out. And there's that face, and there's that beak. And ostriches have those big round eyes off to the side of the head, don't they? All right, running like so. Gonna put a little collar on the shirt. Old school, gang, old school. And the other wing off behind like that, stepping over. Okay, that's proper form for all you tennis players out there. You gotta know this, it's important, right? Proper form. Speaking of tennis, shout out to my buddy Jeff and his daughter Evie, who is celebrating her 11th birthday today. Happy birthday, Evie. All right, ba-bam. There we go. Let's put some tennis shoes on this ostrich. Okay, we'll make them the Nike Agassi blue and yellow ones from 1992. Who's with me, gang? Who's with me on that reference? Wow, Kyle's old. So that's all I hear out there. When I say who's with me on that reference and I get absolutely no answer, I have a feeling that I'm just really dating myself. All right, and there's that leg coming back. Shoe, and bam, there's our sketch. Now, are you ready for me to run over to the final art? Now, before I do, let me make sure that I got those ostrich eyes looking ostrichy. All right, let's see. That looks about right. Maybe the mouth is open. That's even cooler. And tell me, don't ostriches have like these sort of feathers kind of poking out, or is that the emus? Oh, I can't keep them straight, the ostrich and the emu. Okay, do we need a tennis net? Nah, I think we get the context. We're in good shape. We could put the ball right there. It's a good use of that space. And here, as usual, I knock that back in opacity. I come over the top, grab my darker color, and time for that confident line work. So here we go. Up, down, over. Mouth is open. There we go. There's one eye. Come out this way. There we go. Ostrich eye number 1. Ostrich eye number 2. Right over here. Boing. Little nostrils there. That's always fun. Shadow underneath for that open mouth. And there's that long neck coming into that shirt collar. But the shoulder will be crossing over that, so let's make sure we do that. Okay. And then get that shirt flying out like so. Nothing like a good anthropomorphized, that's the word, right? Animal to make your day better, a little brighter, make your day a little brighter, right? If ostriches did play tennis, I tell you what, gang, they'd be pretty darn good at it because, oof, they are fast. They've got great reach. And I've been told they really know how to put a lot of spin on the ball. Don't remember where I read that. And there is our racket. Look at this. You can suggest strings without drawing them all, right? That's a little trick there. Suggest stuff. You don't always have to draw every detail. You can suggest it. We know it's there. Here comes that long ostrich leg and a sock. And then our little tennis shoes. Woo! Bum, bum, bum. And that's one. And then the other coming out the back. And there we go. Tongue for the shoe. And a little detail on the back there. A few lines of action there. And here comes that tennis ball. And why don't we hide the sketch? See how we're doing. I feel like this line can be beefed up a little bit and connect a little more to the head there. I like that better. Project that forward, right? Well, there you go, gang. Thanks for that great suggestion. I love it. I think, as always, you guys are full of creativity, full of wonderful ideas. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. We will get through this time. It's a time of great change, and maybe some really wonderful things will come out of it in the end. I'm hoping for that, and I hope you are too. So anyway, thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. We'll do some more drawing. Be safe, take care, stay healthy, and just be kind to one another. All right? I'll see you later.